So this week's hypothetical, I know this is your favorite part. This week's hypothetical. So we accept two things to be true. There's a monetary value, even though it's hard to quantify, attached to having a high IQ, and also there's a monetary value attached to being an attractive woman in this world. Both are hard to quantify, but I don't think anyone will argue that these things can't be monetized in one way or another, or at least don't
And an
lead.
attractive man.
True, that
Yeah.
too, but we won't be talking about that right now. So we do realize that those two things are true. My question to you is, assuming that your goal is just to make money, either a lot or maybe you're looking, well, it's up to you. Do you want just a lot of potential money, or do you just want a high, median income? Whatever it is, you want to make money. Would you rather have an IQ that's either, 20 points higher than yours right now, or let's say what is a smart person? A smart person has like 150 IQ, right? So let's just say 150 IQ, or would you rather be a hot woman? Which one do you think will lead to either more money potentially, or on average, more money? Which route would you which path would you take?
Well, the main issue with being the hot woman is that it's time limited, right?
Right, because you won't be hot forever.
Right. So your earning potential based on your hotness is going to it basically has an expiration date,
It does. True.
which I think is, applies less to the high IQ person.
Right.
On the other hand, it's clear that, high IQ doesn't exactly, it's no guarantee of making money. In fact, I mean, I think if you talk to a lot of rich people, they won't necessarily even put IQ, it might be one of the top three or five things, but it won't necessarily be the most important thing.
I agree. I know smart people who are not rich. It's no
Yeah.
guarantee.
Right. And rich people that are not smart.
Right.
Hmm. On the other hand, there are a lot of hot women out there.
There
So
are, but I would
as
say that
easy,
in
yeah,
2022, if you're hot, and keep in mind, I'm talking like a 9 or 10. I'm
yeah,
talking I'm talking if you're hot enough to be on TV as a hot woman or date as a hot woman, meaning even celebrities like Ben Affleck will hit you up on that celebrity dating app. Okay? I'm talking about that level of woman. Not just, oh, most
right, right.
men would be willing to have sex with you. No, no, most men be willing to have sex with most women. That's not the level I'm talking about. I'm talking about, could you conceivably date a Leonardo DiCaprio?
Am I being asked to choose between being a smart woman versus a hot woman?
Yes, yes, you're a
Or,
woman in both situations. So that
okay,
it's not about, oh, do you want to be a woman? You are a woman.
okay. Well, this is kind of unfair then. I mean, because the hypothetical is only about money, right? But
It is.
it's hard to separate that from overall happiness and quality of life, let's say.
Because you think that hot women will have better quality of life in a lot of different ways.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, she will
So,
have this halo effect. People will just think better of her in general,
yeah.
you know? And
The thing is, we easily become, used to what we have, right? We start to take things for granted.
I think that I
So
think
what
that
I'm
if
saying is like, our hot women, even though they have an easy life, or I don't know, on average, let's just add that caveat, are they actually happier as a whole? They're just used to like that's just how the world is for them, right?
right, people get acclimated to whatever.
Yeah,
But then that could be said about anything. It could be said about billionaires. I'm sure there are billionaires who are unhappy right now,
right.
right? And if someone gave you $1 billion, you'd swear that you'd be happy for the rest of your life. But we know that's not true based on every single behavioral study and every single example of humanity. You'd get
God,
used to being a billionaire. That's the reality. You just don't accept that because you're not a billionaire yet, you know? But think about this is we don't even have to go into it deeply. People acclimate to whatever, right?
right.
Even going from like making average money to slightly above average, they think like, oh, that'll change my life. No, you get used to it. You, you perhaps just spend more money. So
Is the smart woman, or sorry, is the attractive woman in the hypothetical, is she average intelligence?
has to be average. You can't have both.
Okay.
And the high IQ woman
Well,
has to be ugly, or at least average,
uh,
just average.
yeah, average. Yeah, they would have it would be have to be average to be
Yeah.
fair, I think, right? I mean, in 2022, oh man, it's tough because
Well, here's what I
mm,
think. I think that a high IQ person has a higher ceiling, obviously. I don't think that any person has become a billionaire. Oh, wait. No, there's Kim Kardashian,
Kim
huh?
Kardashian, yeah, yeah.
Any person has become a multi-billionaire just because they're hot, okay? And also, even in Kim Kardashian's case, which we're going to talk about Kim K later, her mom was behind a lot of why she's successful. And definitely, she showed some high IQ moves in the way she managed her
Hmm,
career.
hmm.
But in general, your ceiling will be higher if you're high IQ, right? Like think about how many, tech geniuses are multi-billionaires or whatever. Uh, there's nobody who's just hot and is a multi-billionaire. But I would say the floor is much higher. I cannot think of a super hot woman who's poor. Can you think like seriously? And even if she was, she'd just be walking around, right? Imagine a 10 walking around this earth. Well, here's what would happen. Even if she worked at McDonald's or whatever, she'd go to work at McDonald's, put her little hat on, or oh wait, they don't wear hats anymore.
But okay, wait. But this is now. I think you're restricting yourself to the U.S. I feel like because in other countries there definitely are probably attractive women that are poor.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just restrict this to the United States because like, that introduces way too many variables. So you could be hot in another country and be totally screwed, depending on the
Hmm.
state of the country. So you're walking around, you're just at your minimum wage job, and you're 10. Let's be real. Somebody is going to see you and want to give you a modeling job or cast you in a reality show, or a rich guy is going to want to marry you. You're not going to be poor for very long. You cannot be. And if you have a phone, if you know what the internet is, and you're willing to, debase yourself, you could go on OnlyFans tomorrow, right? Or if you're willing to debase yourself a little less, you can go on Twitch and do whatever, just chatting garbage that they do on Twitch, right? You can make a baseline. There's a pretty high floor of the amount of money you'll make as a super super attractive woman, and I think it's just a floor and ceiling sort of thing. Whereas high IQ, you could be a billionaire, but also I know a lot of high IQ spurgs who just they have no social skills. They are not motivated to do things, and they don't do anything, and nobody's out here trying to give it to them, so they have nothing. Whereas if you're a super attractive woman, people will fall over themselves to give you something. That's the way it's going to work for you. But you have a lower ceiling because I don't think that you're going to become like yeah, I'll say I don't think you become a billionaire. I think at most you become like a millionaire, like maybe $100 million, like some Victoria's Secret models, right?
Hmm.
But I think the safer bet for me, since I'm risk averse in general, I would choose being a hot woman because it has a very high floor. You're going to be
Hmm.
comfortable. You might not be the billionaire, but you're going to be very very comfortable. And you could just like take a real estate license test and just sell real estate. There's so many hot women who sell real estate and they're successful because people like attractive salesmen. That's just the truth.
Yeah. I mean the high IQ person will probably have to work harder.
That's right. For sure they will. So have you
But
made it? Do you know which one's preferable for
yeah,
you?
I can't help, but you also gotta just consider like the weighted average over the entire lifespan, right?
Weighted average is probably in favor of high IQ, I would say.
Yeah.
But I like the high floor. That's my preference.
It's a tough one. I'll be honest, like my gut just said the hot woman.
That's what I would say too.
Yeah.
I think you're almost guaranteed. I think you're almost guaranteed to be a millionaire or be married to a millionaire. There's no way to avoid being a millionaire in that situation. Whereas if you just have a high IQ, it could be any number of outcomes.